Hey guys, Matt here. So I know it's been a while. If you check my last note, my first job entered project season, and when that happens, my free time sort of becomes less existent. However, today I got time to film a quick portfolio update, and I don't have a huge agenda for this video other than the update itself, but let's see where it goes. Now, I do want to start things off by saying that until a few days ago, things were very rough by the month. I mean, it was as low as 95 grand, and that's with me continuously putting money in the market. I mean, you've seen the last few weeks, the market, all that bull market stuff just sort of came to a pause. But I mean, starting a few days ago, we got some news from the Fed. The market thinks the Fed might be pausing rate hikes. And then the jobs report came in. I didn't quite look through it, but apparently the market likes that. It gives rise to the optimism that the Fed might actually stop this. That is all that is right now, is optimism. We don't know exactly how that's going to end up. And I know, I mean, if you've been following the last few months, or not the last few years, I'm kind of desensitized to all of it. And yeah, I will believe this is over when a year passes and we're still inching our way up. Now, as far as the portfolio itself, we are looking really good. We are in the 105 grand range, 3% gains. Now, this would have been a lot higher. Except that, as I promised, I start selling off of Meta. I took a huge chunk of profits in Meta, and I put it into SCHD. Now, as I've said in previous videos, I don't have anything at all against Meta. I just started adopting, back when all this was in the red, I adopted the strategy of, if it's good enough to screenshot, it's good enough to sell. And I think that I'm making pretty good gains on Meta. And as the price keeps going up, I will continue selling and putting it into something boring like SHD. Now, do I think Meta will keep going up even after I sell it? Probably, but the idea is not to get too greedy. I think that 80% gains is pretty good, and I'm happy to take profits where I can and put it into less performing stocks or boring stocks like ETF. And I also put money into VOO, which is doing very well as well. Now, as far as the rest of the stocks go, I think we're looking pretty good overall. AT&T and Verizon had pretty strong earnings, and I mean, we're getting close to $16 on AT&T and Verizon. We just passed $36. I mean, if this keeps up, now I'm not betting the farm that it will keep going up. I mean, we've seen how the market reacts these past few months. But if this keeps going up, I might actually stop losing so much money. Qualcomm had pretty decent earnings. Palantir had really, really good earnings. And believe it or not, I mean, despite the market's initial reaction, I thought Google and Meta's earnings were pretty good as well. So far, across the board, now we haven't seen Tapestry's earnings yet. That comes next week. And I don't think we've seen Target's earnings. But so far, the earnings I have seen are pretty good. Now, that being said, I am a bit worried about Gevo. Gevo has been the black sheep of the bunch. The problem with Gevo is that it already has the customers. It has big name customers. It's already got them to sign on. Like Hyliion, Hyliion wish it got the customers that Gevo has. And the only thing Gevo has to do is fund the project and build net zero. But, I mean, for some reason, now, a lot of this can be explained in the market, but I feel like Gevo is also kind of getting in its own way. And so I'm very curious to see what Gevo's earnings next week are going to look like. Now, we'll see what happens next week. Now, I'm definitely going to make a video about Gevo, depending on how busy my next week gets, project week. I'll either make a video that day of the earnings right afterwards, or I'll make a video the next day. But you'll definitely see my reaction. And of course, now this is not in my portfolio, but Hyliion has earnings the day after, and I will definitely be talking about that good or bad, because with the news that Hyliion brought out, that the fact that it's stopping ERX, I am very, very curious to see how the Q&A goes. But anyways, take care, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.